Hello and welcome to Ghetto Exodus Media, escaping the ghetto through entertainment. Today I'm proud to sit down with Councillor Allister Lightburn, one of our pillars of the community and somebody that I've admired for a very long time. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I can appreciate how busy you might be or you are. Thank you.
No, good afternoon, Leonard. I think what is important is good afternoon to the viewers as well. I think it's an absolute privilege to be interviewed by you and to have this sit down. For me, it's important that wherever we can affect change and even a word or two being said that might inspire somebody just to aspire to being better or just want to make a difference. I salute that, and I just want to say thank you for the work that you are doing by educating and also entertaining our young people.
Thank you. We need a lot more heroes, especially homegrown heroes. If we can shine as much light on our local heroes as we do on gangsterism or the negativity, then I believe that can positively change people's mindset. And as Ghetto Exodus means to escape, Exodus means to escape. So Ghetto Exodus. That is why I started all of this in the beginning. And before we officially start, I want to say the thing that I've admired about you for a few years now is one time I was frustrated with circumstances and I lashed out at you on Facebook. And I've admired the way you responded. You were calm, still respectful, even though I was disrespectful. You were respectful and that actually changed the way I started interacting with people. I'm not so quick to, even if I'm angry, I don't respond that angrily anymore because the way you communicated. And end of the day, we spoke positively. That's just the way you handled the situation. I admired that.
I think, Leonard, what is important is that if we don't have a calm head in a room where there's two people busy conversating with each other, having a conversation, then it might end up being a heated discussion. And for me, it's important is that, and I've learned something by one of a person that was a lady that actually that has taught us in terms of the tourist guides. We were actually 10, and I was the youngest of them all for the tourist guides. At the back then, it was Blauberg municipality that offered that, and she goes by the name of Jolene Duplessis. And there was a saying where she always used the saying in tourism: "You don't get a second chance to make a first impression." So for me, it's important. I normally put myself into the shoes of the residents, and how would I like to be serviced or served by a public representative or an official from any institution, and I think that is important for me. So for me, it's not gonna be helpful if both we going on like two bulls in a ring, and the other one wants to overpower the other one. For me, it's important that we create a win-win situation, but also to first listen. Sometimes we are so quick to jump and to talk, and we lose all the translation in the message, and that is for me important. I want to get that message. I want to understand that message, digest that message, and then I can come back and I can respond and say, listen here, Lanu, this is the reasons, these are the factors, and this is how we can move forward. You know, and that is important.
Yeah, because that really changed me, changed my mindset, changed the way I interact with people. And just to think, just that few minutes of you interacting the way you are, like made a left a big impact on me. And like added some of the other things you did, like Atlantis community action team
Mm.
being taken out of Atlantis and shown something different. It's also one of the things that inspired me to try to show people there's more to life than what we're seeing around us. Like you did with the Atlantis Community Action Team. You've shown a lot of youngsters like better scenery, better ways to communicate, better way to talk. And I'm sure that made a lot of impact as you did them, changed me. And I wanted to always thank you. So let me say it on camera. Thank you, sir.
What is important is, yes, the personal applause or the personal thank you. It's good, but there's a video or film that I normally use when back in my days as a lecturer or as a facilitator in Worcester. So this movie is about a young boy. He's paying it forward. So is paying it forward means if I do a good deed for you, you then do a good deed for someone else, and that is how you pay it forward. So that is just my way, my motto in life, that it's important. The world outside is cruel, and sometimes people are very unkind to people, and if we just can show that sense of gratitude and show that sense of caring, then it's already a big battle being won, because it starts with yourself and how you interpret and how you express yourself. So for me, it's important. The Atlantis Community Action Team was a vehicle for me also to say to young boys and to men, as much as society crucifies you, because whether we like it or not, the most people that appears in court, in the magistrate court, most of the perpetrators is men, you know. And somewhere along the line, we need to start with our young boys, because those young boys if we don't shape them right, they will not become responsible men one day. So that was for me a clear impactful journey that I had to endure. One that I'm very grateful that I got the opportunity to do the Gender Transformation Network to Rodney Fortuin. And then there's another guy that used to work for the Western Cape Department of Social Development, Andre Levax. He's now the president of Chess South Africa, because his kids is also playing chess, and he is now the president of that sport, also helping with intellectual skills, thinking skills, cognitive development upstairs, you know. So that also was, so I have to say thank you to them as well, that have seen fit for me to become a coordinator of the program and to see how we can assist. And for me, it's important that we invest in our young people, because our young people, the things that I grew up with and the things that young people of today is growing up is two worlds different apart from each other, because now it's easy to get access to a gun. It's easy to get access to whatever you want to do, illegal stuff, you know. And especially when somebody's coming along to a young boy that doesn't have a father, it's a single parent household, and the mother is doing absolutely everything that she can to rear and to make sure that boy is raised well. If there comes a guy with like gold teeth like mine in a nice flashy car, and he's seeing that this guy is making easily money, so some of our youngsters do fall for that, you know. And it's important that we give our youngsters the correct support system. Having programs like the Atlantis Community Action Team, Mentorship program, and other youth development programs that is there to further to strengthen and to build our youngsters, and that is important for me.
One of the things I loved about the mentorship program was I felt free to talk, to express myself. And in like environments like at home, I couldn't just talk. But nobody made me feel stupid if I spoke my mind. It's something I love.
Yeah, I think what is important in that space, in that confined space, in which I also like, you know, some people and how we were raised sometimes was your father used to say to you, "Why are you crying? Don't be like a girl or a morphe or whatsoever," you know. And those are the things that, because it, to people, men are being portrayed as this muscular person that so strong, he's a Superman or a He-Man for that matter. But I think men also have emotions. Men is also going through stages, you know. So it's important that we create a platform for men to raise their issues, but also to say, but how can we? Yes, this is the issue, but what is the possible solution? How can we chart a path forward where we can support one another? And I think that was the essence of the Atlantis Community Action Team's motto, to ensure we create a platform for young men and young boys to express themselves. And there's no such thing as a stupid answer or a stupid question. It's a matter of where we absorb everything and we chart a clear path forward on how we can build our men within society, our men and our young boys in society.
I prepared some questions to
Yeah.
ask you. But before I say ask these questions, I want to say you, nothing about you seems to have changed with position or with say, let me say money. And you seem just like the normal guy that we used to talk to, and I still feel like comfortable just to approach you and talk to you. And that's awesome. But I would have thought that if you would have become a counselor, you would have been wearing that flashy thousands and thousands in suits, and but you still feel relatable. You're not doing that, all those things that you will see on TV.
No, I think, Leonard, what is important is you have to remain sane in the sense of if when I talk about Atlantis, I get emotional about Atlantis because I grew up here. It's not my birthplace, but to me it's my birthplace because the majority of my years I've spent in Atlantis. You know, so for me it's important that I will always put me in the shoes of every person on the street. Whether it's a person that is living on the street, whether it is a person that is a sex worker, I will always put me in that shoes. And I think what is important, if we have the maturity to relate to people where they are coming from, then you're already on a path. And I think what is nice and what I appreciate from this community, and I say it all the times on my groups that I have with residents on WhatsApp and even on Facebook, is it is important that you don't forget your roots. And everywhere I go, every function, every gathering that I can talk, and if people want to listen to my story or where I'm coming from, I always say, I'm proud to say, I'm not ashamed to say that I'm a product of Duraflex. Because that Duraflex has shaped me in the person. There's still people, and I still go now and then back to Duraflex and to go talk to people that is still living there that I grew up with. And for me, it's important to relate because those are the things that it builds you and it shapes you to be appreciative of the things that you have. Because in a split second, everything can be taken away from you. So I don't take anything for granted. I'm appreciative of the things that is there, and it's important, and that is something that I teach my daughters as well, to be appreciative of the things that you have, because in a split second that can be taken away from you. And also your manners, because charity begins at home. And I can say thank you to my stepfather, but to me he was my father. And then my late mother and my late father, for what they have instilled in us. And also to all those families that have taken me in after my mother's passing, because I matriculated out of a friend's grandmother's house in Cllr Street, in Robinville. And I still go there to say thank you, because I think it's important that you never forget where you're coming from. There's some friends that were older than me that have also taken me in. And I'm still today, we still talk. And I say I thank you for that. Because I think what is important is we must create safe havens for young people so that they can prosper. And I say this to young people every time when I have an opportunity to speak to young people. Don't ever let your circumstances, don't blame your circumstances, don't blame your conditions. Let those things be your stepping stone of making sure of where you want to end up one day in life. And that is important for me. Being a counselor, it's a privilege. It's not a right. And I don't think I will ever want to. The moment when I start to become comfortable in a comfort zone, and I start to become arrogant, I want you to play this video for me and say, but Allister, listen here. This is what you said. I need to just recall back that video because it's important. It's the way of how we treat each other. And it starts, Atlantis can only prosper if we all put our hands together and we work together as a unit. And then Atlantis will prosper. And that is important.
So let me quickly answer these questions. Oh, it's spoken so long and I didn't even get to the questions. So yeah, first question. Who is Allister Lightburn?
Allister Lightburn, I just turned, a couple of weeks ago, I turned 47 years old. Allister Lightburn is a laid-back person, down to earth. I believe I'm down to earth. A person that is warm-hearted, just want to express his love to his community and to the people of the community that he serves. I don't want to say it's my people because then I'm trying to build an empire. So the people that I serve, I'm privileged to serve. And if you don't find me working as a counselor, you will find me next to the rugby field where I voluntarily assist the Atlantis Rugby Club in the capacity as the vice chairman. And then I'm just a layback, love my family to bits, and I like doing outdoor stuff, getting to my car, taking a road trip, and also my happy place is the beach. Whenever I feel a bit consumed or I feel a bit sad or whatsoever, my happy or my escape route is the beach.
So do you go swim or do you also do like me and just sit and admire the view?
I go, I sometimes I do swim, sometimes I just walk in the water, and sometimes I just sit down and admire the view. And it's important because see the smell of the sea life, that I won't trade it for anything, it makes you calm, it makes you reflect, you do some self-introspection, and when you get out of there, you are getting renewed again, you renew yourself, then you say, come what may, I'm now ready for this next challenge. And I think that is why I normally will go to the beach.
Yeah, sometimes when I feel overwhelmed, then I would just get in the bus and take a trip to Melkbos, sit there on the rocks there, my feet in the water, and just admire the view and feel like a different person.
Most definitely.
And it's a little personal question. As I've seen, you went through a lot as a child, especially the environment, the house wasn't perfect, and and losing both of your parents at a very young age. How did you survive?
I can tell you now, and I have to say thank you to that family, the Matthijssen family in Cllr Street. I also want to say thank you to Rachel. Back then she was known as Rachel Visser, but she's Rachel Watson now. Maiden surname, to her, and then to Radio Atlantis. And I'll tell you why I'm saying Radio Atlantis. Radio Atlantis was my escape place. when I feel sad about the passing of my mother and my father, normally music has a different dimension. It it shapes you. It brings that emotions and feelings to mind, and it helps you heal. And for most part of my life, Radio Atlantis was an institution to me. It was like I would say it's my home away from home, and that is the place where it really helped me. And then there was Educators and Proteus Technical High School that were very, they went an extra mile for me. If I can think about the likes, Miss Kelly, that used to be my class teacher, but also my history teacher. The late Basil David Cavido, which I then ended up in Worcester as he was the project coordinator, project manager, and I was one of his facilitators on the project, the Ukutwalana project. Then Sir Sonnenberg went out of his way for me. And there's the Koch teachers, Mr. Koch and Mrs. Koch. They were there in my deepest, darkest days. Then also, there's some people that might not remember, but she then went over to the UAE to go and to taught English as a language. And Miss Matisa, some of which she was my grade 9 class teacher. And then Miss September. Mrs. September was somebody very dear to me, close to me, scolded me a lot, but I think those are the people that really were there for me in times when my parents passed on, and I think they've played a pivotal role in the person that I am today. So I have to say thank you to them. Yeah.
We have a lot of youngsters looking for acceptance, falling into gangsterism and substance abuse. What do you think can be done to save them?
I think the first thing is to create a environment where it's conducive to have programs which will further build them, like maybe personal development skills programs, programs like the mentorship program, most definitely. And then also, and this is something that I won't say I get frustrated, but I'm not angry or whatsoever, but it concerns me a bit. I understand that the world has changed. I understand that the needs has also changed back then. But the spirit of volunteerism has gone. And I think if we can create programs where we ensure that we build our young people, because I'm going to be very honest and frank and honest with you, Linwood. It is through the act of volunteerism that it have shaped me in the person that I am today and the work that I do today. And I can tell you now, Linwood, being a counselor, yes, it is a profession, but to me it's a calling, it's a purpose, it's my passion to work with people every day. Yes, you get the highs and the lows of your calling, but I won't trade it for anything else. For me, it's about how you can affect change or how you can impact change into another person, and that is important for me. So people development, that is important, and I think our young people will benefit if we have programs like that running around. We had the Atlantis Youth Development Forum. It was a great vehicle to steer young people into the direction. So we need to see how can we reactivate programs that worked in the past that maybe can be just refined and make sure that it fit the youth of today, and that is important.
Well, would you be willing to help people like myself to start and grow such initiatives? And how can we connect with you?
I think what is important, like I said, I'm voluntary, giving my time to the rugby club. I'm open to assist. I'm open to say if people say, okay, Allister, are you willing to one Saturday sit down with us and go through a strategic session? I'm more open to do that. I haven't forgotten my value as a facilitator. If I can still bring across stuff and I can still assist people and help giving back to people, I will gladly do that. And even I will see with my list of contacts, and I say contacts where you have built up a network of people that you know that if you just ask them that, they will say, Allister, no problem. Name me the place, name me the date and the time. I'll be there to assist. And I think I'm willing to assist and to connect people with each other. Because I think it's important, the more we celebrate each other's success, ultimately Atlantis will become a better place. And I think that is important. We need to clap hands for each other's well-being and also development. So if I see Linwood going up, I shouldn't be the one that is dragging him down. I should clap and say, well done, Linwood. I'm one of your cheerleaders in the back because I want to see you prosper. And I think that is important. So yes, I'm open to that. Whatever, if there is initiatives that I can assist with, I will gladly assist.
If you could reach all the kids going through the things you went through as a child, the struggles, the pain, feeling lost, what would you tell them?
All that I have to say to them is the following. Just be you. Be original. Don't try to be a carbon copy of someone else. Then also go and look for help. There's no such thing as there isn't help. There will always be help whenever you call out. But the first thing is you yourself need to be brave and to admit, I need help. And I think that is important. Like I said to you, in my time of need, there were support systems. People which I could have just linked to and asked for help, and they have assisted me greatly. And that's why I will always be grateful and thankful for the role that they've played in my life. So to children, to young people, whenever there's a way, I am available. For me, it's important that for me, I'm not just a person that is an office person, because in a counselor's position, there's no such thing as an office. I'm only available during office hours, because even at night, even early in the mornings, people message me, and for me, it's important that you are always available. And if you're not available, but make sure that you are responsive in the sense of you come back to the people to let them know, sorry, I missed your call or I missed your message. I have seen your message, and this is my feedback on that message. And I think that is important. So to young people, they don't have to, yes, I have to say this, the things that young people are going through now is worse than the things that we went through as young people, as young kids that time. But I want to say to them, there is helplines, there is lifelines, there is help lifelines where we can, because we need to be a channel for each other so that we can lift each other up. And I think that is important, because if we don't take, and Atlantis can only prosper if Atlantis residents, if the leaders of Atlantis work together and work with each other, and that is important.
Okay, that was all the questions. I want to end up, okay, I'm going to finish with this question. It's not part of it, but as I've seen you over the years, Stir and Allister from ACAT, and
G-Boy from Radio Atlantis.
Yeah. What was your name? Wasn't it a Love Doctor or something?
No, I was Allister G-Boy.
G-Boy, yeah.
G-Boy.
Yeah, I see the G-Boy is gone from your name now on Facebook.
Yeah, it's just Allister G, because my second name is initial is a G.
Jerome.
Jerome,
yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, so let me finish with this question. But how you like more of an office person these days, and don't you feel like claustrophobic? Because I know you like to go out and like talk with people and be in a community and mix. How do you cope with this?
Yes, it was an adjustment to be in the office, but I can tell you, this job doesn't, or this profession doesn't require that I just stay in an office. So it's a variety of the two. Yes, I'm not a person that likes to sit behind a desk. I like to be out in the field, in the action, do my thing outside. But I think it's also important that you have to have a balance between the two. So yeah, it was a learning adjustment at the beginning, but I think what is also important is you have to adjust, to be flexible. You have to adapt, and I think what I love most about this profession is you engage with people, and that is important. And especially what I like is when I'm in my ward that I'm responsible for, the ward, the people, and engaging with the residents. That gives me the great pleasure of being part or being within this role of being a counselor and serving our people.
Now, this conversation was, I really enjoyed it. Happy I waited that week for this opportunity. Can I please shake your hand?
No problem. Thank you,
Thank you
Linwood.
very much.
Thank
It
you.
was
Thank you.
lekker. And everybody that watched the video this far, thank you so much. And please give the video a like, subscribe, and comment anything you want, any questions, any advice, and I'll respond as soon as possible. And once again, thank you. This was awesome.
Thank you very much, Linwood, for allowing me to appear on your platform.